Yeah, hi James.
Thank you for having me back.
I'm just transfixed by a call that we've had from Spain. She's a regular caller, Jane. We'll have to talk to her later. And the note I have on her call is, I just returned from Israel a week ago. You would not believe there was a war. Should be interesting conversation, so we'll talk about that a bit later. But in the meantime, I want to talk to you about net zero. Another Labour big beast, Lord David Blunkett, has climbed on the bandwagon now. Tony Blair last week saying this net zero stuff will be the death of us. And now Lord David Blunkett is saying exactly the same. So there's a head of steam building up there. Incredibly unpopular, their net zero policies. Just like axing the winter fuel allowance, it beats me why a political party, a government, would say, oh, look at these policies that absolutely everybody hates. Therefore, we got a complete shellacking in the elections last week. What should we do about them? Let's just stick with them. Double down on them. Unbelievable. They're so inept. Let's get to that in a second, though, because something else inept cropped up today. Two-tier Keir is now accused of implementing a two-tier tax system in which we're, for some reason, as part of a UK-India trade deal, going to encourage more and more Indian workers to come to Britain. I mean, you know, I've got nothing against Indian workers coming to Britain, except for the fact, do we need foreign workers? We got a country full of foreigners. They keep coming across the channel, and he wants to let more in. But anyway, he wants to encourage these Indian workers by letting them off, exempting them from the national insurance that we've just had hiked. I mean, what on earth is he thinking?
It is quite extraordinary, isn't it? And I can only assume that this was maybe, let's hope, a kind of poison pill that the Conservative Party had left in the negotiations that Labour didn't spot and didn't realise this was going to blow up. Because if they were the ones really pushing this, my goodness me, how bad are they at organising all of this stuff? So what we're looking at here is, you know, people in this country pay income tax, they also pay national insurance, and then, of course, employers have to pay their own version of that as well. There's no, it's a fiction. The whole thing is kind of made up at this point, right?
It's not actually national insurance, it's another form of tax.
You've got it exactly right. The technical term is it's all fungible. It all goes into the same pot. So really we should just do away with the whole thing and have a single income tax, like groups like the Taxpayers Alliance very sensibly talk about. That would be much more honest. But what's happened here, then, is that the Indians are getting away with this. And lots of other people on lots of other visas don't do that. My wife is American. She pays full taxes. She pays employees' national insurance. And she pays an NHS surcharge on top of that in order to use the NHS.
Does she?
Right?
That's interesting.
And she's an American. She studied here. She's got lots of qualifications and skills, unlike me. I mean, what is it that means that she's got to pay all this extra, as do millions of other people in this country from other countries, but the Indians are going to get away with this? What are we getting in return?
Well, Kemi Badenoch, we'll more of her later. She was presented with this potential deal when she was still business secretary, I think. And she says that she turned it down. She said that's just not fair. Robert Jenrick says today, to sum up, if you haven't gleaned exactly what this story is, Jenrick's put it well. He posted this on Twitter. This trade deal means that Indian workers here for less than 3 years will not pay national insurance in the UK. Starmer has hiked national insurance on Brits while giving an exemption to Indian migrants. British workers come last in Starmer's Britain. It's a fair interpretation, isn't it?
Yeah, as so often Rob Jenrick puts it very, very well.
Puts it better than Badenoch.
Well,
more of that later.
I'm sure there's some reason why it falls under the justice purview, but he does put it very well. And it is a very, very iffy thing. Look, in general, I don't want there to be huge barriers between trade between countries. If we can do free trade, if British companies can sell stuff to India and vice versa, then great. We obviously have a very long and reasonably complicated history with India. It's obviously a big rising power. Lots of exciting, dynamic companies are there now. Lots of exciting things happening.
A trade deal is a good idea.
It would be a good idea, but having a little poison pills hidden in there like this is no good. Great if we can have India on side, because war with China is hopefully not coming, but is definitely a possibility in the future, and you want to have India on track. It's a major power in all kinds of ways. But when, as you say, we've got a problem of a glut of workers already over here and wages being depressed as a result of it, wages being very, very low, lots of people from lots of other countries who don't necessarily always click immediately with the UK. I think Indians will click a lot better than people from lots of other countries. So in principle, this should be great. But as Kemi Badenoch says there, and Rob Jenrick as well, this is just not the way to go about it.
A trade deal with India, one of the great economic countries of the world now, is a great idea. But I don't think we should have buckled on this. You know, I suppose if that trade deal means that Modi wants Indians to come here and work, then, you know, I'm prepared to accept that compromise is always called for if you're in pursuit of a very good deal, which I hope the trade deal is. But I think a lot of people in this country will say, hang on a second, so this is more foreigners coming to live in this country, more visas, yet more visas being given to foreigners to come and live and work here. Bearing in mind that over the past few years we have had legal migration to the tune of 1.1 million a year. Some of them go home, many of them stay. So a lot of people in Britain will go, well, apart from the national insurance, which to say the least is infuriating, you know, so this adds up to more foreigners coming here, being given visas to live and work. This country is going to burst at the seams soon, isn't it?
Right, and this is the sad reflection of what's happened with migration numbers. Britain is, and Brits are, incredibly open, tolerant, welcoming people, right? And we can have all the conversation we want about different foods and different cultures, all these things that migrants can come and add in lots of ways. And under a sane migration system, that's what we'd have. We would have tens of thousands of people perhaps coming every year who've got skills that either we don't have or perspectives that we don't have, or they just want to come and work really hard and they've fallen in love with the country because, I don't know, television programmes they've watched on the internet and stuff. That would be great, and they would enrich our lives and tell us interesting stories.
Not
and all
on
that
the
kind
BBC.
Of stuff. Absolutely not. But when we're at the scale we're talking about now, all of these people, they could all be William Shakespeare, but we don't know where they're all going to live. We're not going to be being paid for through national insurance for the NHS or for schools and all those sorts of things as well. Where are we going to put them all, and what is going to happen, as you say, to our communities and to our culture? I'd be happy with more Indians if they're people that want to come and work here and all the rest of it, but we've seen so many people from cultures that really are quite alien, much more so than between India and Britain by far, and who aren't assimilating and who aren't integrating, and the government does nothing to try to make that happen. And if that's the case, we cannot be having more deals that mean more and more people come to these shores.
Right, I've got to ask the audience, folks, what do you think about this? You're no doubt all hard-working people. Like all of us, you have to pay your national insurance. Your employers not only have to pay their part of your national insurance, they've just had a massive hike, which has put a lot of companies out of business. Bigger companies, like, for example, the one I work for here, News UK, their bill for this is astronomical. Astronomical, millions and millions of pounds. So we've got a big hike on companies. We've got all of us have to carry on paying our substantial national insurance contributions. And now we learn that Keir Starmer has done a deal to let Indian workers come here, and when they get here, they don't have to pay national insurance. I mean, that is two-tier something or other, isn't it? The two-tier taxing. There you go, two-tier tax. Don't you think? Let me know. I mean, it strikes me that is annoying, to say the least.